What's up, guys? It's your most loved Power Scaly here, King of Godzilla, and today we're back with another video. And this video is, like I said yesterday, ranking all of Slick's Godzilla versus Destoroyah kaijus. So let's start off. So for the first round, we're gonna start off with base. So at number 13, we have the Skullcrawlers slash the Mutos. The Skullcrawlers and the Mutos were summoned by Destoroyah in the finale, and they basically had no feats. They didn't get a hit on anyone. They get one hit by Kong, Godzilla, Rodan, Mothra, Spacegodzilla. They're getting one hit KO'd by literally everyone on the team. They have no feats there. They're probably weaker than their movie counterparts. So yeah, that's why they're number 13. At number 12, number 12 and 11 can be argued, but I have some arguments on why number 11 should be higher. So at number 11, we have Scylla. Now, Scylla doesn't really have any feats. I mean, she didn't hit Spacegodzilla with any of her attacks, and she got one hit by Spacegodzilla. And she most likely scales off of the Scylla from the Monsterverse. And in the Monsterverse, Manic, you can confirm this, Scylla gets tail smacked by a weakened Godzilla who's at barely any power.
He's at 1%. He's at 1%.
Yeah, at like 1% power. Who's been starving to death for 2 years because he hasn't been able to feed on any radiation since he has to go around the world and put all the Titans to rest. Is on the brink of starving. Tail smacks Scylla, and then Scylla swims away for her life. She is terrified. And that's the weakest Godzilla we've seen in the Monsterverse. Might I remind you that. So, Scylla is losing to the weakest Godzilla in the Monsterverse. And at number 11, we have Methusula. Now, Methusula also gets one hit KO'd by Spacegodzilla. But the reason I have him above is because even though we haven't seen Methusula appear in any of the Monsterverse comics yet, in the intro of GVK or Godzilla vs. Kong, it shows that Methusula scales to Rodan, and I asked Drew, which is one of the people who helped create Godzilla vs. Kong, and he also wrote Godzilla Dominion. I asked him about if that scaling is true, and he said it's most likely for Monarch, so he says it's probably true. So meaning Rodan scales to, or Methusula scales to Rodan and possibly above. Meaning he should scale above, everyone else, the Queen Muto, Behemoth. He should scale above the trio. And yeah, so he should already scale above Scylla there. And yeah, at number 10 we have Behemoth.
Yeah, I guess
now.
So.
Yeah.
The thing is, did he help make Methusula though? Is he nobody's scaling? Because
I have
when you're asking
no idea.
See, because when you're asking questions like this, it's good to know who you're asking because not everyone knows about. Drew doesn't know that much about Mechagodzilla because we asked him before.
Well, I mean, technically he does. He just said he doesn't really remember it because he hasn't watched GBK in a long time.
Oh, well, yeah, still.
Yeah, but yeah, it's good to keep that in mind, though.
Time.
Yeah, it's good to keep that in mind, though, guys. At number 10, we have Behemoth. So, Behemoth, in the animation,
he was definitely stronger than this comic book.
Yeah. So, like I said, at number 10, we have Behemoth. Behemoth in the animation, he's able to tank crystal shards from Spacegodzilla blowing up. And like I said in my previous video, Spacegodzilla is either multi-continental or solar system level. So he either took a multi-continental attack or a solar system level attack. Behemoth, he was able to, with his tusks, he was able to break off one of Godzilla's dorsal plates. He was able to draw some blood from Godzilla. Took the atomic breath. He was able to tank a tail smack from Godzilla, a bite from Godzilla. He also later on in the animation, maybe a few minutes later, Manic, you remember when Destoroyah flies after Spacegodzilla when he's flying to the moon?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and you know how they make that big smoke cloud?
Mm-hmm.
That smoke cloud knocks Rodan to the ground, and he weighs 39,043 tons, and it injures Rodan a tiny
Didn't it
bit.
call,
Behemoth,
didn't it knock Kong too?
no, no, Kong was still standing.
Didn't
No, it didn't. Kong was still standing.
oh.
And Behemoth, he kind of just stumbled back. He didn't take damage from that like dust attack. Well, not necessarily an attack. He didn't fall over, meaning he probably weighs heavier. He's probably heavier than Rodan. So yeah, he did that. So you could so that's another reason why he scales above like Methusula and Scylla. Methusula, he was also able to fight against Gigan. He punched him, and it did absolutely nothing. And then he got sliced like in the chest, like he got cut in the chest. He was fine. He shrugged it off. Um, and then later he dies, but he was able to tank those like two chains that like grapple into his entire body. Like it goes through his like penetrates his skin. He's able to survive that. So yeah, that's why Behemoth is number 10. Moving on to the number 9 spot, we have Kong. Now, you guys might be wondering, wow, Kong? He's this low? And yeah, so I have some arguments for why I put him this low. So for one, Kong, well, in the first animation, he was able to fight with Destoroyah. We all know that. He took the oxygen destroyer from Destoroyah. He like his headlight was getting like squished by Destoroyah, and he got slammed on the ground. He took a lot of attacks from Destoroyah. He took Hellhawk attacks. He with his axe he was able to one shot both Skullcrawlers and male Mutos. He was fast enough to avoid the oxygen destroyer, which is probably light speed, most likely. Um, Also, Kong was able to his axe was able to penetrate Destroyer's like leg, and it was able to injure him. It absorbed the atomic breath, the Corona beam, oxygen destroyer, and yeah. It was also in the second animation, he was able to tank even more attacks from Destroyer. He tanks so when Destroyer super punches Mothra and Rodan, it hits Kong, and he gets knocked onto the ground, but like a few minutes later he gets back up, so he's fine after like that like super punch attack from getting hit by Rodan and Mothra, so he's fine after that. And yeah, so he should be number 9. That's why I think he's there. Before I move on to number 8, he was also able to tank attack. He was also able to just like Behemoth. It also got cut by Gigan. He was able to survive. He's able to go toe to toe with Gigan with his axe against his I mean, what do you really call it? Arms, hands, whatever you want to call it. Sure, he wasn't able to hurt or hit Gigan literally at all in the animation, besides like that rock throw. He was able to block a few hits from Gigan. And so yeah, that's why Kong is number 9. And number 8 is Kiryu. Now, Kiryu in the animation, he had only 2 minutes of power, but in those 2 minutes, he did a lot. Kiryu, he can dodge Gigan's missile. His missile can hurt Gigan. He can super punch Gigan in the face and knock him back. He shoots Gigan and punches him a lot. And he shoots that chain into Gigan and brings him up into the sky and throws him. He can tank a lot of Gigan's attacks. The sword is also able to go straight through his head, like through his head. He has the absolute zero cannon, which literally like destroyed like the chest of Gigan, but he was still functional. And yeah, and then after that he kind of runs out of power. But before he runs out of power, he slices Gigan's head off with the sword, and then he runs out of power. So yeah, due to that, he should scale above Kong in base. Reason being, Kong was losing against Gigan, even with the axe, and Gigan didn't have any amps or anything. Kiryu against Gigan when he had his amp, he was, kind of wrecking Gigan, right, Manic? He was kind of beating Gigan, pretty much. So yeah, he did a lot better in his fight against Gigan than Kong did. so he shouldn't scale above Kong. So yeah. Also, I mean, with that absolute zero cannon, like I'm pretty sure Kong's axe, even if it hit Gigan, it wouldn't penetrate him. Absolute zero cannon did. So yeah, that's why I think Kiryu is number 8. At number 7 we have Mechagodzilla and Mechagodzilla. Well, in his appearance, he was able to just kind of beat Destoroyah, even though Destoroyah wasn't really trying. Um, he was able to shoot Destoroyah with his missiles that could injure him. He stabs him and kicks him in the face, or sorry, not in the face, in the chest multiple times. That really big missile, it injured Destoroyah. Uh, he, um, he's fast enough to react to he's fast enough to able to react to Destoroyah's like horn attack. He dodges he also dodges Destoroyah's tail attack. He hits Destoroyah with a proton screen for a few seconds. He throws around Destoroyah and starts to electrocute him. He shoots at Destoroyah with the gunfire, and it kind of injures him. He gets kicked from hundreds of feet in the sky, and when he falls down, he's able to survive and gets punched multiple times by Destoroyah and still survives. And then his laser gun was able to hurt Destoroyah. Mechagodzilla, along with Godzilla, was able to bully Destoroyah. He has the power to turn Godzilla into thermo, and then he was able to tank, like, when his arm, or, like, when he, like, was really tired and almost died to Destoroyah. He was able to, he was able to, like, tank an attack from Destoroyah right before dying. So, yeah, that's why I have, Mechagodzilla at number 7. At number 6, we have, Rodan. And I put Rodan above Mechagodzilla. The reason being, he was going toe to toe with Kong. Possibly could have beat him. Maybe if Godzilla didn't intervene. We're not sure how the fight would have ended. Rodan was also able to take an attack from Gigan. He was able to his beam could probably hurt Kong and like all the other Titans below him, because his beam most likely scales to Godzilla's atomic breath, and it leaves like a pool of fire. So he should scale to that. He takes supercharged punches from Destoroyah. He takes a lot of attacks from Destoroyah. He's also pretty fast. He should move just as fast around as his monstrous counterpart. He took an attack from Spacegodzilla, who is multi-continental to solar system. He can make Godzilla bleed with like a few scratches and a peck. His like tiny leg gets bit from Godzilla, and he shrugs it off. He can hurt Kong, who scales to every other Titan to solar system and multi-continental. The two fire blades that could probably injure Kong. When Gigan is on the ground with his head chopped off, when he lands on him, he just kills him. He kills one hit Skull Claw. His beam can hurt Destoroyah, who is solar system multi-continental. And he takes a supercharged punch from Rodan and technically Mothra. Mothra didn't hit him, but like Destoroyah hit Mothra into Rodan and then into Kong. So yeah, that's why Rodan is number 6. At number 5, we have Mothra. Now, Mothra, to me, scales above Rodan. Number 1, being able to blind Gigan when Rodan could do nothing to Gigan until like his head was chopped off and everything. Mothra should be just as fast as Rodan, if not maybe even faster. Her webs were able to keep Destoroyah's mouth shut. It was able to keep Gigan from using his arms to attack with. And she was able to tank attacks from Destoroyah, like the supercharged punch. Her blinding attack can hurt Destoroyah as well. And also, it's not necessarily shown that she gets hit, but like when they're fighting Destoroyah and Rodan kind of like is like getting hit by Destoroyah, he kind of like claps his wings and makes like the Vulcan burst with fire. And Mothra was like on top of Destoroyah attacking him, so she could have taken that, and she didn't seem harmed at it by at all. And in terms of Mothra scaling, Rodan and Mothra are pretty even, but Mothra is shown to be more powerful and stronger. She was able to beat Rodan, so yeah, that's why Mothra is above Rodan. At number 4, we have Gigan. I put Gigan above Mothra. Gigan was beating the absolute light out of Godzilla. It might remind you, this Godzilla came from GVK Godzilla, and it was stated by Slick in the
Whoa,
animation.
wait. Say that again. Gigan. Mothra's about Gigan?
No, I said Gigan's above Mothra.
Oh.
It was also stated in the animation that that
So
Gigan was
William,
overpowering.
William. If you're squeaks in the background, that's me rocking my chair. This is broken.
I didn't know that, but all right. Um, it was stated in the animation, and
I'm just letting you know if you hear it in the
alright,
background.
alright, I got it.
Also, I'm watching Dragon Ball.
Cool.
I'm watching Dragon Ball Super.
Alright,
So
cool. Okay,
cool.
anyways,
It's better than
Gigan.
Godzilla. JK.
Okay, just be quiet. Gigan was able to beat the light out of Godzilla, and this Godzilla did come from GVK Godzilla, who was not at his strongest. He was at 50% power, basically. It also was stated in the animation that Gigan was beating him because Godzilla was very exhausted from fighting Destoroyah and Behemoth and Rodan, so he was already tired from that. But that doesn't change the fact that Gigan was beating the light out of Godzilla. He also was able to block and amp Godzilla's atomic breath. He took attacks from Kiryu. He was even still able to survive with his head chopped off until he died to Rodan. So yeah, that's why Gigan.
Although to be fair, he was barely functioning, so
he was barely functioning, but he was still functioning though. So it still makes it that more impressive.
Barely.
Barely though. At number 3, next up we have Godzilla. Now this might be, you guys are probably all like, what? Nah, Godzilla, like, he was kind of beating Destoroyah and everything. But let's be real, in terms of base forms, Godzilla was getting obliterated by Destoroyah. Would probably get obliterated by Spacegodzilla too. In the second animation, it did look like he was doing better. He was able to beat up Rodan and Behemoth. He was able, while he was weakened, he was able to tank attacks from Gigan. And he's able to tank Gigan's eye laser and kind of react to some of his attacks. Like, he blocks a few, but then he gets hit. So he reacts to Gigan's attacks. So yeah, that's why Godzilla should be number 3. I mean, he also took the Oxygen Destroyer from the Destoroyah kicks from Destoroyah. Gets pierced by Destoroyah's tail in the chest and nearly dies, but still survives. That's another thing to keep in mind. So yeah. At number 2, we have Spacegodzilla. Spacegodzilla, in base form, was able to go toe-to-toe with Destoroyah. Destoroyah and Spacegodzilla were pretty even. Spacegodzilla was able to injure Destoroyah, beat up, kill Methusula and Scylla. Could kill Skullcrawlers and Mutos with one hit. He could beat everyone below him in base. He also took the Oxygen Destroyer from Destoroyah. No, I don't. I think he tanked it, or he didn't. No, he blocked it with his shield. So yeah, he was able to block with the shield. He was able to freeze Destoroyah in place.
Wait, tank what? Tank what?
Tank the Oxygen Destroyer. I think he did that in the animation, somewhere in the animation.
I'm pretty sure he did, yeah. I'm pretty sure, yeah. Like, because remember when he was, like when his beam was swirling around Destroyers? Like, they did the beam.
Well, no. That was him blocking it with the shield. So yeah.
Oh, no. You're talking about he tanked it. Oh.
Yeah. No. That part I messed up.
So, actually, he did take it. He did tank it.
He did.
Point blank, actually. Because remember when he, like, literally, Destoroyah, like, punched him in the head so hard he cracked his skull.
Oh, yeah. And then he's up against the mountain, and then he gets,
Actually, that's an impressive durability feat.
Yeah, very impressive.
Because, like, he can survive getting his skull cracked. like
Yeah.
being shoved against the
Even
wall
though it's a small
twice over and
portion,
over.
it's still impressive. Space
Also,
Godzilla is also hypersonic speed, moving at Mach
wait, also,
6.27 and 693.
Will.
Yeah. Mm.
Basically, can after his skull was cracked, he took Destroyer's oxygen destroyer point blank.
Yeah, at his head.
Yeah, point blank. So
Point
yeah.
blank for a
Oh,
few seconds.
he was still fighting too.
Yeah. All all
Yeah,
all
well, it doesn't matter
his
if he.
crystals and shards were also able to injure Destoroyah. Also, on the moon, he was able to block one of Gigan's shots. So yeah. And also using Heisei logic, Destoroyah does scale above Space Godzilla. So Space Godzilla should scale below Destoroyah, and Destoroyah should scale above. And talking about Destoroyah, at number 1 in base we have Destoroyah. Now, do I really have to explain? I'm gonna keep it short and simple. Destoroyah obliterated Godzilla in their first encounter. Was obliterating both Godzilla, not necessarily obliterating, but he was beating Godzilla and Kong and Mechagodzilla, all of them, all three of them. He was able to go toe to toe with Space Godzilla, Alpha Call, all the other Titans on Earth. And yeah, while in his base form, he took attack from an amped Space Godzilla. So, yeah.
Yeah.
He's also able to crack, like we said a little bit ago, like a minute or so ago, he could crack Space Godzilla's skull, which we've never seen any Titan do that in a movie, or, like, we've never seen the Showa era, Heisei era, Millennium era, Legendary era, Reiwa era. Like, we've never seen that. We've never seen that happen, nor in an animation. This was, like, the first time I've ever seen that happen, with, like, another kaiju, like, breaking another one's, like, part of another one's skull. And while in his base, he took attacks from Thermo Godzilla, Lightning Kong. So yeah, there's that much more to go off of. And then, so yeah, so that's the ranking for base. And then moving on to amps. At amps, it's the same thing. It's pretty much the same for the first few kaiju. 13 Skullcrawlers and the Mutos get one shot. Scylla gets one shot. Methusula gets one shot. I already explained all of them. Behemoth, same scaling for why he's above everyone else. And now this is where it starts to change. Kiryu, he doesn't necessarily really have any amps, but he was able to fight against an amped Gigan and beat him. So that's a pretty good feat. His Absolute Zero was also able to cause a lot of damage to Gigan. And he's pretty powerful himself. But he only has 2 minutes of power, which is the downside to him. And then we have Mechagodzilla above Kiryu. He doesn't run out of power. He was able to fight with Destoroyah and tank a lot of attacks from Destoroyah.
Wait, what? Did Tano leave? Was that him? Who left?
Yeah, that was Tano.
No.
So yeah, so continuing. He takes attacks from Destoroyah. And in the movie, he takes attacks from Kong and Godzilla and obliterates the crap out of Godzilla. Even though he is very tired, he's still, just.
He would still beat the crap out of him.
Even if he was at full power.
Bro, there's barely any people here.
Yeah, I know there is. I know there's not. And then above Mechagodzilla, we have Rodan. Now, Rodan doesn't necessarily have any amps, kind of like with Kiryu and Mechagodzilla. But, Monster vs. Logic, he should scale above them, due to him scaling to Mothra, who's above, everyone previously mentioned. He's also able to fight with, King Ghidorah and King of the Monsters. And in the animation, he's able to go toe-to-toe with Kong. We're not sure who would have won if it kept on going without Godzilla intervening. He was able to tank, supercharged punches from Destoroyah. His breath could hurt Destoroyah. He's also should be just as fast as Mothra. Took attack. He killed Gigan. Took an attack from Gigan. Yeah, and he should scale above everyone below him.
1-on-1.
Sure, with logic and I gotta charge real quick. With logic and everything in the animation done. Like for So yeah. I mean, His Vulcan burst also hurt Destoroyah, so keep that in mind as well. Speaking of Mothra, at number 5 we have Mothra. Mothra, like everyone else below her, doesn't have any amps, but using monstrous logic, she scales above everyone below her. She's just as fast as Rodan, if not maybe faster. Let's go. She's also able to, what's it called? She can injure Destoroyah. Her webs can hold his jaw in place. Her jaw, or her webs can stop Gigan from using his arms as, like, weapons. She's also able to tank supercharged punch from Destoroyah, just like Rodan did. She can not necessarily blind Destoroyah, but could hurt him. So yeah, that's why she's above Rodan. And at number 4, number 4 and number 3, you can argue both. So Manek, I know just a little bit ago you said Gigan kind of has an amp. I think he does have an amp because in the animation he turns like super red.
Oh my gosh! Oh
He's
my
going
gosh!
like
I was getting nervous there because I missed my
yeah, I didn't use my beam, so I probably should have used it. But continuing on, Gigan was also able to fight with Kiryu, take attacks from Kiryu, and so on. Gigan also was non-amped was beating a tired Godzilla, like beating the crap out of him. When he's amped, he's pretty powerful, able to knock back Godzilla away while he's amped. Yeah, he also takes Mothra attacks and Kiryu attacks. But like as I said, number 4 and number 3, you can argue either way. Is also Kong, so you can argue Kong is number 3 or 4, and same thing with Gigan. The only amp Kong necessarily has, we're not including technically we can't include axe amps, but like really the main amp he gets is the lightning amp. The lightning amp allows him to throw the axe at Destoroyah, chop off his arm, chop off his wing, break his horn, and it's putting up a really good fight against Destoroyah and maybe could have killed him. So yeah, at number 3 we have, Gigan and Kong were 5 and 4. Yeah, 5 and 4. At number 3 we have Spacegodzilla. Spacegodzilla's amp, he was able to injure he was able to injure Base Destoroyah by a lot. Also, like in their base forms, going toe to toe. All right. He was also in his amped form. His breath was overpowering Destoroyah's until Destoroyah 2 more oxygen destroyers. So yeah.
All right, count.
You do it. Here, let me get some distance. So yeah. So amped form, he was able to injure Destoroyah and could probably beat everyone below him. At number 2, so number 2 and number 1 can also be argued, same with Kong and Gigan. I put Destoroyah at number 2. My reason being, so now, Manic, I remember you saying how Destoroyah not necessarily having an amp. At the end of the animation, it can be argued to be an amp because the red and the red never appears again. Also, GG. Also, that was never used before by Destoroyah, so we're not sure if you could use that, in space form as well. But as an amp, he was able to, survive the sun.
Why they kind of nerfed Final was hard.
Yeah, they did. He was also able to survive, up close to the sun, really close. Yeah, also, and, he was able to tank, he should be able to tank attacks on Thermo, and, everyone else below him. One of the reasons I think Destoroyah really only survived in the first animation was his regeneration. If he didn't have that, he already survived. But, he had no arms, no legs, no horn. Yeah, he wouldn't, be able to. And yeah, so, for me at number 1, I have Godzilla. He's received 2 amps in the animations. One of them, I'm going to talk about the weaker one, is basically the Aftershock amp. the aftershock amped allowed him to beat the crap out of Gigan, and he'll probably be able to beat up Kong and everyone below him, including Spacegodzilla, maybe. And he also
Come
has
here, come
this.
here. I'm gonna test damage. Come here. Come
All right,
here.
all
I'm
right.
testing damage. Come here. Come here.
He was also able to in thermo form.
That did
He was able
zero
to
damage
blast
though.
off destroy his wings, his arms, his breath can overpower destroy's oxygen destroyer. And yeah, so he's able to pretty much beat Destoroyah until he starts to regenerate again. So yeah, that's my ranking for Slick's Godzilla and Destroy Kaijus Manic. Before I end off the video, do you have any questions?
No, not really.
All right, guys.
Mostly
Thank you.
because I was mostly because I wasn't listening half the time. So, but yeah.
Nice.
Hold on. Don't leave it. I'm gonna show y'all a cool trick. Hold on.
All right. Wow, so cool. Alright
I
guys,
know.
thank you
I
guys so much
know,
for
right?
watching this video.
Make sure to be sick.
Yep. Wait, what? Thank
Nothing.
you all you nerds for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.